Hi guys, welcome to our second podcast. This is CMG Planet. My name is Jasaroli. Today we'll be talking about Dragon Ball Super episode 48 with our future predictions for episode 49. Today with me I have Rajpal Rekhi.
Hi guys.
And we'll be talking about and discussing the current episode today. So, without further ado, Rajpal, what are your thoughts for the first two episodes of the series?
I think Joss here, this arc could potentially be one of the best arcs in Dragon Ball Z history. Now, definitely by far, I think it will definitely beat all the other arcs in Dragon Ball Super. I think there's a lot more story and there's a lot more planning that's gone into this. It's a lot more darker than the other arcs that we've seen. I feel like you've got one of the most key individuals that we haven't seen or heard from for a while now. We've got Future Trunks in this whole other situation where we made our peace with it. He's gone back to the past, he's rectified all of the issues that have happened, he's beaten Cell. We kind of assume that by now he's probably relaxing on the beach somewhere, but it's quite the opposite. You've got the last two people apparently that he was quite close to, they're taken away from him by this new mystical character who's Dark Goku. Now I feel like this gives a lot of scope for the evolution of Trunks as a character. I feel like there's a lot more to see from him. I think it's quite interesting. I think one of the key moments in on Sunday's episode was the fact that when Trunks actually got out of bed, he saw Goku and he got emotional and he went straight in for Goku. That's something that's quite rare. Usually Trunks is a very composed character. He doesn't act on impulse. So I think maybe whether it was a shock for him to see Goku, because obviously Goku had passed away when he was in just before he left. Goku said that he didn't want to be wished back, so maybe when he saw him he was like, "You're not Goku," and he went in for him. But at the same time it was a very impulsive decision, and it was quite interesting to see how Toriyama would develop his character and all these things that have happened to him, how they're going to shape him and how the way he acts. But yeah, I mean, what about you? What are your views on all of this?
Yeah, it's been a good start. For me, the last episode was a little slow. I was kind of annoyed with the build-up. I wanted to progress faster. I think they stood still for too long in this episode. But I think many people, as you said, found it nice and tenseful. A good builder episode. So next week's will be really exciting. But for me, I've been pretty damn excited with the series. I mean, just seeing Black Goku last episode, we were like, oh my god. We heard the rumors, and there's so much speculation going on with all the. Well, if you guys are into spoilers, maybe you should cover your ears. But with the evil Majin, evil Supreme Kais, the current rumors going around with the demon realm. But I'm also really interested. But a little off-topic question: do you like Trunks' new hair? I don't know.
If I'm completely honest with you, I actually quite liked it. One thing I found that was quite interesting was when his actual time machine arrived from the future, she asked the smaller Trunks, who does have purple hair, bearing in mind, she asked him, has the person in the time machine got blue hair? Now, I don't know whether that's because I was reading some subtitles that someone else maybe didn't translate properly, or maybe that was actually the way it was meant to be said in the anime. If it was quite interesting to see how how did Bulma know that this person would have blue hair? Like when Trunks left, he had purple hair. So maybe it's something that's actually within her family tree. As they get older, they get blue hair. I'm pretty sure her dad had slightly blue hair as well. She's got blue hair, and obviously now Trunks does as well. So yeah, I thought it was quite interesting. But let's see what if there is an explanation given about this later on. But I don't think it's a massive issue. But it's just fun to see how Toriyama likes to, set things up for us. Maybe it's hinting at Super Saiyan God transformation as well. Who knows? I
actually thought he was Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. I was like, well, but he's not strong enough to be that, and there's no way you can permanently do it when they're running up to do the transformation. And
I think one of the things with a Super Saiyan God transformation, you kind of firstly, you can kind of tell, and I think we from what we're seeing right now, it's blatantly just a normal state, but it's quite interesting. I personally think they could do a lot with this. I would love to see him turn into a Super Saiyan God.
You know, nowadays, you know, it's always something that, you know, whenever Trunks goes back to the past, he takes something back with him. So maybe this is something that they're gonna you know, do. Well, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? You know, Trunks being Super Saiyan God, the future Trunks being Super Saiyan God.
Actually, one thing I'm really curious to see is how they will progress with Trunks. We know that he doesn't have enough time machine juice to go back into the future now.
Time machine juice.
Yeah. And another question is, does he have anything to go back to?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, would you want to go back? I mean, I would literally just set up camp and stay in past, you know, because he's got everything.
I was really interested to hear what Bulma said, and the flashback Trunks had. Of what she said. She said, no matter what happens, you know what you need to do. That moment, it was like there was like a second meaning to that.
Yeah. I think personally, I mean, this is something that I've been thinking about for a while now. Ever since, you know, the first Future Trunks, the Android saga kind of ended, and the Cell saga kind of ended. You know, why would Trunks not just simply build a spaceship and go to Planet Namek in his timeline? Yeah, does it still exist? It'd be quite interesting to get the Dragon Balls back into his timeline, because then he can just reverse all the damage back. But it's never been spoken about. We don't really know what he did after, you know, Cell was destroyed. Like, it's quite an interesting thing. Obviously, I think with the Dragon Balls, you can't wish back someone who's died of something that's a natural cause, I guess. So Goku would not have been able to be wished back.
Yeah. Everyone else should be.
Everyone else should be. So I'm quite intrigued to see, you know, I'm quite curious to see whether they did do that, and, you know, the world that Black Goku destroyed was actually something that was quite populated, you know, it was back to normal. But, you know, it'll be quite interesting to see how Toriyama develops this in terms of
really. You know, that's also a really curious aspect. But for me, it's more now we're dealing with a bit more complicated stuff. So we're dealing with time travel plus multi-universes.
Now, they have literally gone all out.
Now it is literally like infinite possibilities of things which can happen. So we've got like people, and I mean the teaser for the next episode is you saw Black Goku ripping, I don't know what it was, like a time
it's a ring, wasn't it?
It was a time rip, yeah, and he's come up in there. So how is that going to affect the timeline? How is that going to affect different universes? Because we've got Beerus and Whis involved, and if those two are involved, then we've got the gods. We've got Battle of Gods, don't we? So we don't know what else is going to go down. If we've been introduced to King of Everything as well. So is he going to show up? And like, there's going to be preparations for the new tournaments, universe tournaments, and it's going to get messy.
Yeah. I think this is it. This is what I think we've been waiting for this to happen now. I think since the launch of Dragon Ball Super, it's been you know, we've had really good storylines. You've had the films as well, and to be fair, for me, I've kind of when the film arcs weren't as appealing to me as these recent arcs. Like the tournament was amazing. I think it was a good way to bring, you know, I felt like I wanted to watch a new episode every week, and trust me, like I'm going to be catching up on all of these episodes every week without fail, because they've made the story into something a lot bigger now. Like, you know, there's a lot more creativity that's going into it, and I think, you know, it is quite interesting to see, you know, how they're going to develop it. You know, I think it would be quite nice to see you know, more transformations. I don't know if they're gonna maybe go into you know, different universes and maybe deal with the situation that, like, if Black Goku. It'll be quite interesting to see where Black Goku is actually originated from. So I read a lot of speculation on this, and I've heard that, you know, apparently when Beerus wished for Champa's Earth to be restored, apparently that Black Goku originates from that, but then that's just a speculation. There's other speculations that, you know, that he's in the Kaioshin. For those of you who don't know, you know, it's just the evil form, like evil versions of the Kais, you know, so it'll be quite, and also you've got the Potara earring, this Dark Goku's wearing, you know, how did he get that? Does it mean that he's already fused with someone?
Well, Xenoverse fans, that is what the demon god Demagra is wearing. He has the same Potara earrings. Right. So you've seen him there.
But why is he wearing just one? And why is it highlighted in all of the posters? You know, it's not. I was watching another video that was posted by someone, and they were talking about how, like, Toriyama usually reuses a lot of the same designs, and the earrings are quite commonly found in a lot of the Dragon Ball Z characters. So if you think about Zarbon, he used to wear earrings, but they had no meaning. You know, so it's quite. So we don't know whether it's just a fashion thing that he's done or if it's got some sort of significance behind it. All we do know is that this person who looks like Goku, he's not a Saiyan, you know, because he's obviously like out to get them, and I don't know what it could be, but you know, it might even just be an android. Who knows? Like, you know, so it'll be quite interesting to see how they progress with this arc, how they progress with the development of Future Trunks, but also, you know, who is this mysterious guy that looks like Goku, and you know, what is he going to bring to the table? You know,
Yeah, another interesting aspect is Kira Toriyama announced in the interview that the main antagonist for this series is going to be someone, for this arc, I believe, it's going to be someone with white hair.
Wow, okay.
Which
that's
leads us to believe maybe Black Goku might have a white Super Saiyan transformation. Maybe.
Oh, that is quite interesting. I didn't hear about this. I didn't know about this, so
Yeah,
it'd be worth finding out more about this.
Indeed, but it could be like the tournament. There wasn't anyone with white hair, so everyone thought that Hit would be the main antagonist, but he just turned out to be like a standard, well, not a standard villain, but like a nice martial arts partner for Goku. Maybe we'll see him in the future. But even Black Goku, we don't know if he's the main antagonist or if there's someone even more higher up coming.
I think there is. I think you're right. I think something's caused him to obviously go out and cause havoc, and I think he's not acting just on his own. I think there's something behind it. It'd be quite interesting to see how they develop this.
Yes.
You know, who they bring in.
But yeah, the next episode looks absolutely amazing. You've got the fight between Goku and Trunks, which, if I'm completely honest with you, kind of reminds me of the first time they met, you know, when Trunks pulled the sword out to test Goku. So it'll be quite nice to see that again, you know, a face-off. Also, you've got the introduction of Black Goku. You know, we find out a little bit more. You know, he's issuing a warning, apparently. You know, there's so much more to do with this. Like, you know, there's so much that can be done with this arc. So I personally can't wait to see how the story develops and who's introduced and who's, you know, what happens next. So, but yeah, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm going to hand it back to you now, Jose.
Great, thank you for likewise, thank you for being here and taking your time out to talk about Dragon Ball Z with us. I'm sure every Dragon Ball Z fan is itching to find out what's going to happen next week, as much as we are, I believe, even more. I'm a little lucky. 9 a.m. in the morning on a Sunday gets me up. I feel like a 5-year-old kid again. Yeah, from Dragon Ball Z. But yeah, it's been great speaking to you. Hopefully check us out next week for our next week podcast. We'll definitely do one there to talk about the next episode and any future spoilers or events which will be taking place for Dragon Ball Z. This has been CMG Planet's second podcast. Thank you all for tuning in. Please leave your comments below. See you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.